Narkis, and I am not a professional singer, but still, you're gonna hear my voice when I shout it out loud. It's my life, it's now or never. You can join me. I ain't gonna live forever. I just wanna live while I'm alive. So, it was 2010, around 2 p.m. I walked in the middle of a meeting into the bathroom. I was in a meeting in the startup I worked for, and I walked in the middle of the meeting to the bathroom, and I did what most women I know do in the bathroom when they walk outside of meetings, and I cried. So that day was a turning point in my life, and mainly in my career. Actually, this day started pretty good. I closed the first deal our startup had with a retail chain, and my boss was very proud of me, so of course I was proud of myself. But after a few hours, he was disappointed from something else I didn't do, and then I felt disappointed for myself. And I didn't cry in the bathroom because he was disappointed. I cried because I was so sick and tired of being so much influenced by what other people think, other people say. And that day, a burning question came in my stomach, a question I couldn't ignore anymore, and it was, does it have to be this way? Is there any other way to live life and not being a leaf in the wind by other people's will? This question led me to Central America. It was the time when all of my friends went to travel after the army, and a lot of them mainly did drugs, but I decided to take this trip and to live for a few months in a meditation retreat. So I was living in this meditation retreat, and over there I noticed two main things, two of my main thoughts, and these thoughts led me to my mission in life. The first of all was, I was shocked to see how much miserable I was. And the moment I reached Guatemala, I realized how miserable, how much I was living someone else's life. And so, of course, I quit my job, I quit my boyfriend, I quit all the things I had. But that was one thing. What shocked me is how come I didn't notice? How come I didn't know I was miserable? If you were to ask me back then if I'm a happy person, I would say yes. I thought being happy means having a successful job, having friends, being accepted to school, and changing your self-esteem 7 times a day according to what people say. I really thought it's normal, okay? And I started looking at people around me, and I'm like, oh my God, so many people I know are miserable and they think they're happy. So that was one thought. The second thought is, while living in this meditation retreat, I saw people walk in the meditation retreat in a certain way, and after a few weeks, while they work on themselves, walk out differently. And I was so surprised and empowered to see how much of a transformation a person can go through when he decides to take control over his life. So I decided to dedicate my life into 2 missions. First of all, to inspire people to look within, to realize what's their passion, to realize if they're really alive while they're alive, and to decide they're following it. And second of all, because the first one is very fluffy, to create practical platforms for people to succeed once they realize what's their passion, and to make a living out of it. So I came back to Israel, I had a shaved head. Everyone thought I was crazy because I closed my Facebook, and I spoke with a lot of people. I had a lot of meetings, and then I met my co-founders, and we founded ZeZe. So ZeZe is a social enterprise. We create projects that create self-fulfilling jobs for communities in need and are led voluntarily by young people according to their field of passion. And basically our belief is if you give a person an opportunity to do something he's passionate about, it will be very hard for him to go back and to do something he's bored of doing. We had a few failures, we had a few successes. Today we have an orchestra from street musicians, a printing factory that employs women that used to be prisoners, a bar that gives a platform for NGOs to share their content, and productions that are led by young people and communities in need. Everything is sustainable, we're not based on donations, and it's still happening. We have a team, and I was very much enjoying it, but after a few years I had another question in my stomach, and I felt, okay, cool, we're helping all these people, but 2 things bother me. First of all, it will never be scalable, ever, because we're creating all the projects ourselves. And second of all, we're not really helping young people, and young people is also a community in need in these days. It's very hard to create our own job. The institutes that are supposed to support us in this process are not prepared for that, and with technology changing, more and more opportunities are getting closed, and more opportunities need to be created by us. And people that don't have support from their parents want to make something they're passionate about, but they need to pay their rent. So people need to become entrepreneurs of their own talent. Even if you're not starting a company, you cannot outsource your talent for other people anymore. you really need to be responsible for your own career. So I wanted to find a solution for that. ZeZe was ready for me leaving, and also my co-founders, all of us continued, and I wanted to find a solution. So I did what I did last time. I went to do Vipassana. I went to Burning Man, spent a lot of money on coffee, sitting with people, interesting people, inspiring, taking their advices, and learning new skills. And while I was in this process, I observed my process, and I realized that's what I want to create. Why, when people want to create a career shift, they need to go to a Vipassana, talk with a lot of people, and learn something? Why can we not create something that combines all of them? I think that's what MBAs are trying to do, but it's very expensive to go for an MBA, and it's not really focusing necessarily on a person's internal process. So I came back to Israel again, and I spoke with a lot of people. This time it was a bit faster because I had a long hair, and I met my co-founders, I met our investors, and we founded Elevation Academy. So basically, we're doing that. We're creating programs focused on online skills. We're focusing on the startup industry, and our programs teach you online skills. We have online marketing, we have community management, we have entrepreneurship that is more general, and our students also going through an internal process, realizing what it is they want to do exactly with that, if they have a startup or if they're building their own talent. And also, the courses are being delivered by the best people in the industry working in this field, not people that work as teachers, people that we convince to spend their time teaching in our courses, and then these people can network with each other and get inspired. So that's what I've been doing with my amazing partners in the last few months. And it's been really, really inspiring to see our students, to build the programs, to see the results. And it also has a lot of prices. I find myself many days forget why I'm doing it. I find myself in big to-do lists and not grateful. And while I find myself, I always ask myself the same question. And I'm using this question to change the way I'm doing things. So I'm going to ask you this question now. As Gal said, Wow Talks are finishing with a question. Okay, so we're going to do it now. I'm going to ask you to close your eyes. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Okay, and the question is, are you really alive? Are you alive as much as you want to be? Are you alive as much as you could be? And even if the answer is no, what can you do about it now? Thank you very much.
Wow. Narkis Alon.